Hello and welcome. Today we're going to break down a function that is absolutely critical, one that can make or break a hotel's entire food and beverage operation, and that is strategic procurement. For all of you at the Europe Hotel School who are aiming to be leaders in this industry, getting this right is, well, it's non-negotiable. So let's get into it.
This quote really gets to the very heart of the matter. We have to move away from this old school transactional mindset, just buying ingredients. The real goal here is building strategic partnerships. Think about it this way. Your vendor relationships aren't just some line item on a spreadsheet. They are one of your most valuable assets for making sure you have quality and stability.
So here's our game plan. It's all broken down into 5 key stages. We'll start with building the foundation, then we'll jump into how to kick off the process the right way, how to select the best partners, how to lock in a winning contract, and finally, how to use technology to manage risk. So let's start with that first phase.
Okay, let's talk about the foundation. You have to understand, vendor selection isn't just another task to check off a list. It is a critical pre-opening activity. Seriously, the choices you make at this stage are going to ripple through your entire operation, affecting everything from the quality of your food to your brand's reputation and, of course, your bottom line.
What we're really doing here is building a resilient supply chain from day one. It's this proactive approach that creates a system for predictable quality and cost control. And that right there is the signature of any professionally managed F&B department.
All right, so with that foundation in place, how do we actually get the formal process started? Well, the key here is to begin with structure and, really importantly, precision.
This roadmap lays it all out pretty clearly. We start by issuing very detailed requests to potential vendors. Then comes that strategic selection phase, which we'll get into. That's followed by contract negotiation, and then finally, the ongoing management of these crucial partnerships.
Precision here is absolutely critical. A strong request for proposal, or RFP, is not just some vague shopping list. No way. It needs exact product specifications, and those should be drawn directly from your menu that's been engineered for profitability. Plus, you need clear weekly volume estimates and totally non-negotiable delivery times. This is how you make sure you get relevant, apples-to-apples proposals back from everyone.
So, once those proposals start coming in, how do you choose? This is probably the most strategic part of the whole process, and it requires a tool called a balanced scorecard. It's specifically designed to help you look past the one thing that can be really misleading: price. This visual really captures a classic industry mistake. We've all seen it happen. Chasing the lowest price is just a short-term play, and it almost always backfires with inconsistent quality, which ultimately hurts the guest experience. The strategic approach, using that balanced scorecard, is all about protecting your brand and building real, long-term value. And here's what that balanced approach looks like in practice. As you can see, yeah, pricing is a factor, but look, it's not the most important one. Product quality is weighted most heavily because, well, that's what your guests actually experience. Reliability and service are also key for making sure operations run smoothly. It's a complete view of value, not just a race to the bottom on cost.
Okay, so you've selected your ideal partner. Now it's time to make it official and formalize the relationship. The key here is to go into the negotiation not like it's a battle, but as a collaboration. You're building a framework for mutual success.
It is so important to remember that the goal of a contract isn't to win the negotiation. It's to create a clear, fair agreement that protects both sides from risk. Just think of it as the concrete foundation that your entire partnership is built on.
So, what does that look like? Well, here are 4 clauses that are absolutely essential. You need pricing agreements to manage market volatility. You need clear payment terms like net 30 to optimize your hotel's cash flow. You need quality assurance clauses that give you the power to reject any substandard products. And finally, you need delivery schedules with penalties to make sure your operation never has to wait.
But hey, the work doesn't stop just because the contract is signed. Nope. Now we have to fortify the supply chain against any disruptions, and that's where smart risk management and technology really come into play. Take a look at this number, 2. This number represents your safety net. For your most critical, high-volume items, having at least 2 approved vendors is a completely non-negotiable strategy. It's your best defense against a single point of failure. If one of your suppliers has an issue, your operation doesn't miss a beat.
And technology is such a powerful ally here. Modern procurement platforms do so much more than just process invoices. They give you data you can actually use.
Tracking historical price changes allows you and your F&B controller to instantly spot potential overcharging and manage your costs with incredible precision.
So, as we wrap up, it really all comes back to this one central idea. Every single step in this strategic, data-driven process is built on one fundamental shift in perspective: seeing your vendors as long-term partners. Honestly, this is the mindset that separates a good F&B leader from a truly great one.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Are your vendors simply sellers, or are they strategic partners in your success? The answer you build your career on will define the resilience, the quality, and the profitability of every single operation you lead. Thanks for joining me today.